That the president did not hold up traffic at LAX?
I'm saying that not only would I say that, but that's the established fact that's been reported after that story came out. In the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, the FAA made it very clear that not one flight was held up as a result of that.
Well, Joe,
and that was established a long time ago.
You and I are reading different newspapers, I think.
No, it's not a matter of reading different newspapers. It's a matter of what the Federal Aviation Administration said about the incident. It was debunked at the time.
Do you want to read you want to hear what the St. Louis Post-Dispatch said?
Well, if you'd like to read it, it's your show.
Well, okay. The story was that planes were kept circling as President Bill Clinton had his hair clipped on Air Force One at Los Angeles Airport. This is 1993, last month. The haircut by Beverly Hills stylist Christoph became such a metaphor for perceived White House arrogance that the president himself felt compelled to apologize for the reported flight delays. But the reports were wrong. According to the FAA, Federal Aviation Administration, records obtained through the Freedom of Information Act, the haircut May 18th caused no significant delays of regular scheduled passenger flights, no circling planes, no traffic jams on runways. Commuter airlines that fly routes routinely affected by the president's haircut confirmed that they had no record of delays, etc., etc., etc.
What's peculiar to me is you don't seem to care whether you get these things right or not.
What's peculiar to me, Mr. Conason, is that you're still stuck back in 1993 instead of 2005.
No, you were writing about something that happened in 1993.
Yeah, but this book is about whether Hillary Clinton is qualified by virtue of her character to be president of the United States.
Let me ask you a question, Edward Klein, and that is, when you have so many errors that accumulate, why should we take your interpretation seriously?
Well, but I dispute that there are so many errors accumulating.
Well, let's ask about another one. There's a woman you name in this book named Nancy Pietrafesa, who you say was rumored to be Hillary's lesbian lover.
That's true.
Now, there are two things about that. Well, I don't know if it's true or not.
Rumored?
The rumors are...
Right.
There were rumors,
Yeah, those are great journalistic standards, but you misspell her name throughout the book. Did you know that?
Well, do you know that 3 other authors have also misspelled her name?
Yes, I figured they must have, because that's where you got it from.
I'm sorry that I
Did you try to find
an E instead of an A?
Well, let me ask you something. Did you try to find her so you could ask her about this rumor?
Of course I did.
You did?
Of course.
And you had trouble? Because
did you try with all the different? Did you try with all the different spellings?
No,
I guess not.
I tried to reach her, and in fact left messages for her.
Really? Where?
Where she lives.
Where's that?
Listen, Joe, I don't have her address in front of me.
You have no idea where she lives, and you're lying right now.
I'm not lying, Joe.
Yeah, you are.
Let's.
I'd like to go back to one of the.
No, I want to go back to something.
All right, you can. Go ahead.
Melanie Vermeer.
Verveer.
Yeah.
Who is Melanie Verveer?
She was her chief of staff for a while.
Yeah. You know what?
There is no person named Melanie Verveer. There's Milan Verveer, who you refer to as mannish-looking, which she's not, but her name is Milan, M-E-L-A-N-N-E.
Now, I know Milan.
Now, since you don't know the first name of her chief of staff, why should anybody think that you know anything at all about Hillary Clinton?
Well, I want to go to... Oh, okay. Let him.
Please let him respond.
I don't think the question is worth my responding.
Because you don't know, right? You don't know her. You didn't know her real name.
She was referred to as Melanie to me many, many times. And
By who?
I think that's how...
No one calls her Melanie.
Well, I think that's how a lot of people refer to her.
Nobody calls her that.
Not only do I know Milan, I know her husband, and I have to take offense on calling her mannish, because I know Milan, and I think she's a good-looking woman. And let's say, Ed, someone referred to your wife in a book as Simeon, say.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Would you, which, by the way, I doubt your wife is Simeon-looking. I'm sure that she's very beautiful, because you're a very manly-looking man. You're very heterosexual-looking, I must say. In the back of the book, you look like you're in really good shape. So,
I have a feeling that he's never seen Milan Verveer, whose name he doesn't know. Have you ever seen her?
No, I have not.
But she's mannish-looking to you, even though you've never seen her.
She has been described to me that way, yes.
Who described her to you that way?
Several people who knew her.
Who knew her as Melanie.
Yes, who called her Melanie to me.
Well, maybe they knew someone else. This could all just be another case of terrible reporting and mistaken identity.
There is a Melanie who is used to be a male and is a tennis player, professional tennis player.
You've been a reporter for a long time, I know, or at least purporting to be a journalist. Isn't it true that the first thing you learn when you're starting to be a journalist is to spell the names right?
Oh, come on.
It's such a silly comment, Joe, that it's beneath.
You got a lot of them wrong.
I got some of them wrong, but I'm sure you've misspelled names in your career.
I try to correct them, and I didn't pretend.
I will try to correct these in my second edition.
Okay, let me
third and fourth edition.
Okay, let's go to your motivation. You write, isn't it you said, I'm sorry, to Salon, isn't it Dr. Johnson who said that any writer who doesn't write for money is a fool? What I do for a living is write popular nonfiction, and the more popular it is, the more books I sell, and the more money I make. Now, I write books too, and I just got to tell you that that's not my motivation.
No, you're a political analyst. I'm not.
Oh, okay.
You're a political person. I'm a biographer.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference.
And do you think that maybe some of these conservatives who are reacting to the book, like Peggy Noonan and John Podhoretz and others, are reacting because it feels like you're just cashing out here?
No, I don't think that's the reason. If you let me answer, I'll answer that question.
Go ahead.
I think there's a great deal of confusion on the part of the conservatives how to deal with Hillary. They don't know whether to deal with her directly and in a forcible manner, because the last time they tried that with the Clintons during the whole Whitewater and impeachment imbroglio, they were criticized for going overboard and for being too extreme, and they felt they were burned by that experience. So they have recently been cozying up to her and debating how they're going to handle her. And I think this book, which I've written, is a book that could be written about a man. In other words, it takes Hillary Clinton seriously, and it treats her as I would have treated a male subject of a biography. And there's a great deal of concern on the part of conservatives that this is going to turn her into a victim and make her stronger than ever. So that's the fundamental reason there's been this split among conservatives about this book.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ed. And I will say that John Podhoretz did write, the headline on his thing was Smear for Profit. So I think that he actually does believe that you did this for money, which actually you do say that that's why you write books. So, but I want to thank you for joining us, and I know that this couldn't have been fun because it really was us ganging up on you, so I really appreciate it. And, talk to Adrian, because I really did tell him that Joe was going to be here. Thank you, really, honestly, thank you for coming on. You're welcome. And we'll be back with the Al Franken Show here on Air America Radio.